Hello, everybody. I hope you're all having a good day. I woke up today and I just went and found out about the whole Resident Evil 9 leaks thing going on. Now, I've been playing Resident Evil 4 Remake. I'm sure a lot of people have recently. Took me about 2 months to finish that thing on the lowest difficulty because time wise, I don't have much time to do anything anymore. It's quite difficult. But I think I've kind of got things sorted out and smoothed out a bit. So, went up, went on the internet, saw some stuff online, and I thought it was interesting to see that we have ourselves a Resident Evil 9 leak, so to say. Now, the thing about this is, from what I understand, Capcom almost every single 2 years releases a Resident Evil game nowadays, if I remember correctly. I think we had like 2017 was Resident Evil 7, then 2019 was Resident Evil 2 and 3 remakes, I think. Or was it 2019 and 2020? And then there was Resident Evil 8 after that, and then Resident Evil 4 remake recently. So I think the idea and intention here is to kind of keep the Resident Evil franchise just, I don't know, in enjoying perpetual releases somehow. They've got a pretty crazy Resident Evil schedule, I assume. So I think what they're trying to do is that as soon as they build up hype for one Resident Evil, it boosts the sales, gets it out of there, and before Resident Evil can become an afterthought for the average fan, they just pop out another one and then keep the hype like that going. And then, like with me as well, it's also forced me to go and buy some of the older titles, especially when they have these good sales and stuff on the Steam. So yeah, Anyway, back to this is from Comic Book Gaming. Resident Evil 9 may be a couple years away. The series, one of gaming's, yeah, we know it's the most iconic, blah, blah, blah. The series has been very consistent, though. There was a pretty sizable gap between the 6th and 7th games, largely because Capcom was figuring out how to bring the series back after a couple of notable misfires. I think that's probably the biggest gap it's ever taken, from what I understand. It's like 5 years between the main numbered title. The 7th game gave it all a soft reboot, making the series first person, moving away from the typical zombies and much more. I think this is a thing as well. All of the mainline numbered Resident Evil games, I get a feeling it's going to be only first person going forward. And the third person is going to be relegated to the remakes or to other types of Resident Evil games that we may be getting, like Resident Evil Resistance, for example. So, yeah. Is it Resistance? It came bundled with RE3. I just wasn't interested in it. Got it somewhere on the shelf. The 8th game continued to do things very differently with vampires, werewolves, and the more supernatural elements. It was different but embraced by fans and resulted in two of the best games in the franchise. I haven't played both of these games to completion. 7, I've played that a bit. It is absolutely terrifying. 8, I have no idea, but I think with the way 8 was introduced and all of its marketing, especially with Lady D, I think it's kind of hard to not take note of what it was like, even just from a few video clips. It was different but embraced by fans and resulted in, okay, but many expected a hypothetical 9 game to take these ideas and continue them, but Capcom has noticed that the story of Ethan Winters and his family is wrapped up in Resident Evil 8. So I think the idea over here is that they obviously want to put somebody new in the seat. And I think that's what's going to happen, or rather to keep the survival horror element alive, is that you want to have somebody new and inexperienced every single time. If all you've got are these guys who have fought monsters, eventually they kind of become numb to fighting those monsters. I don't know if that's a line that I took from the new Resident Evil movie, but for example, Chris Redfield is probably not scared or terrified of anything out there. Same goes with Leon. I mean, the amount of times he's been dishing out suplexes and, well, kicking people's necks and stuff in, I think it changes the characters themselves from when they first start off, obviously, until they progress and somewhat become less fearless or more fearless as time goes by. So that character's skill set and the way they handle the situation obviously translate into how you as the player react to certain situations. For example, Resident Evil 2 Remake, playing Leon over there is absolutely terrifying. But if you're going to play Resident Evil 4 Remake, nothing. No fear at all, except for a few segments in the game. But for the like 99% of the game, you just, well, mailing everybody. That's what I normally do. Just counter with a knife and drop kick or whatever. Drop kicks, suplex, and roundhouse kick everybody. But anyway, reputable leaker Dust Golem noted in a Discord server that he had heard Resident Evil 9 is due out in 2025, and will likely be revealed sometime in 2024. I mean, I think the idea over here is they probably still want the hype for Resident Evil 4 remake to die down. They've got the whole thing to take care of. I think it's all the DLC and stuff like that to still push out. I'm not too sure about the release window of that, but from what I suspect, you're looking at like the next 6 months, probably early in 2024 when they want to do it. If I can remember correctly, Resident Evil 4 remake was like basically shown to us for the first time last year, and I think that'll be the idea for Resident Evil 9. Probably like a 6 to 7 month delay between the reveal versus like the first public demo or beta or version, whatever it is. And then probably like a month or two after the demo, we'll get the full release of the game. So let's see what we get from there. If Capcom is on cycle, it's most likely will be revealed next summer based on the reveals of the last two games. And I can agree with that sentiment. Hopefully 9 will continue to do interesting things with the franchise and keep it fresh. This is the thing as well. I don't think people are too tired of the first-person camera angle. I think it does some pretty good things for the whole horror element of it. It makes things slightly more terrifying. And I think the idea here is as well is to introduce a new character, somebody who we've never seen or heard of, and have them be thrown into this terrifying situation. That kind of adds to the whole eerie atmosphere, the same way it did with Resident Evil 7. I mean, from what I've played in that game, the most terrifying aspect is that you're basically like the most average person you can find that has like no survival skill set, and you're just fumbling about. That's part of what makes it so terrifying. Now that it has shed Ethan and his family, Capcom has the opportunity to tell a brand new story with a beloved character like Chris, Leon, or tackle a new cast of characters to do more things with the new gameplay. I don't think Chris and Leon are coming back for any mainline Resident Evil games. I think what's going to happen with these guys, and a lot of we call them the legacy Resident Evil characters, is that they will only pop up in remakes, maybe games like Revelations, but I don't think the main number titles will feature them anymore. I mean, we see them in CGI movies, and that's like the most amount of appearances Leon has had since Resident Evil 6. And that's quite a gap for us to actually have a game with it. And then after that, there was Resident Evil 4 remake. It's quite like almost 10 years since we've had a playable Leon, or Resident Evil 2 remake as well. But yeah, 2012, so like 7 years. Yeah, 7 years in between. My bad with the Resident Evil 2 remake. But the thing is, I don't think we're going to be able to get these characters in like Resident Evil 9 or 10, if that even becomes a thing. Because I believe they're too experienced, and also with their age as well. Depending on the years where it's set in, the age may be catching up with them. I mean, you can't be suplexing people forever. You can't be drop kicking people forever. You're going to have to put your boots up at some point in time. So we'll see where it goes. But I think Chris, Leon, maybe some other stuff, some other characters from Resident Evil will probably just show up as supporting characters. The same way Chris shows up in RE7 and RE8. And they're not going to be like the star of the show, if you know what I mean. See, I'm going to leave the video over there. Oh yeah, one more thing, sorry, before I leave. There's already a fake posting for this game. It's a 100% fake on Instant Gaming. Please don't fall for this. I think it's probably just a placeholder just to say, look, we're going to get the keys eventually, but when it does come, we'll be like the first kind of thing. I don't know, but don't fall for this scam. You can see you got Claire over here and Leon. These are from the Resident Evil 2 remake. This background is from Resident Evil 8. This font, the character in the center with the background picture, you can see it all doesn't blend in very well. It's not very realistic or professional looking either. It's like something you can do on a mobile app, kind of thing. So please don't fall for that. It's yeah, so I'm gonna leave it over there. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, leave a thumbs up. See you next time, and let me know what your thoughts are about Resident Evil 9. What do you think's gonna happen? I think it should be something like full-blown terrifying, where you just, I don't know, have to count every single bullet and every single footstep of yours. That would be kind of fun. Anyway, see you next time. Bye.